Hello and welcome to UTB Blogcast number 113. We have Dave, Roy, and myself. I'm Erica, if you didn't already know.
And
And we
I'm
are going to
Brad.
talk about.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
Brad.
say hi, boys.
Hi, boys.
Hi. She.
Brad's the one in the
You
hat.
called me Dave.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, after so many blogcasts, we can really tell you apart. All right. So why don't we just go ahead and open up with the review video that came out this week?
I guess the review video did come out this week over at JerryRig Everything. We got 2 BlackBerry Motion videos from JerryRig Everything. So you want to talk about the review first?
Go for it.
Well, he did his Destructor challenge on the BlackBerry Motion, and we got much better results this time around than we did on the first generation of the BlackBerry Key 1. There was no screens popping out, and my dog decided now would be a good time to drink. And so I know there's all kinds of nasty sounding noises coming out in the background. Anyway, it was kind of a nice little video because it wasn't just, I mean, it is, it's what he does. He bases it on the physical and he destroys a phone essentially. But he really seemed to get caught up in the BlackBerry software as well, which is something that I'm not really used to seeing him do on his videos.
This is probably the point where I shouldn't say I haven't seen the video yet, huh?
Oh my goodness. Did you watch either of them?
I haven't had a chance. Maybe I'll go watch them now while you guys talk.
I know I've got, 2 of the more quiet people on the blogcast tonight, which isn't.
Yeah, but I watched the first video because I just now know that there is a second video. The motion passed in a good results by Zach. That's his name.
Yeah.
You see that this time BlackBerry Mobile actually strength the thing that it's important. So you have the back. Okay, nobody cares if the back will be scratched, but the camera is with good glass and the screen is good, and I think that in a full touch screen you will never see a screen popping up. So
yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, which goes back to what I kind of argued about the Key 1, because you've got that pivot point there, or
yeah, the screen is.
Yeah.
But it was good. I think he liked BlackBerry.
I think so. I mean, I think he got kind of caught up on the, what was it, the privacy shade, and then what was the other bit of software he got caught up on? Because it just kind of shocked me that he kind of stopped to show it off. I'm completely forgetting right now.
I remember the privacy shade.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Wow, this is a super informative discussion.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here, it's like, should I go back to the post? Because I kind of mentioned it in the post. Here, go ahead. You two talk for a second. I'm going back to my post.
Talk amongst ourselves. Are you going to give us a topic?
Yeah, the JerryRig Everything video that you didn't watch.
I'm watching it right now.
Oh.
I've had a busy week. Right now, he's doing the scratch testing.
Yeah, the scratch testing. Now, I mean, how do you put it? It's obviously not the Gorilla Glass
anti-scratch something that.
Okay, can I just say, because I don't watch a lot of his videos, uh, because they make me rage.
They make
Because
you rage.
because he's ruining a perfectly good BlackBerry.
Yeah. Yep.
I understand why he does it, but it still makes me angry to watch him destroy the phone.
It was the convenience key, the convenience key that he kept going
Yeah.
back to and talking about. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, I mean, he showed off that his daily driver is a Samsung, and he sure kept going back to comment about, you know, that this is the button that Bixby wishes it was, and all that fun stuff. So I kind of liked seeing that aspect of the video, that he was actually looking at the phone and not just the physical aspect of it. Now, you mentioned the back as far as it getting scratched. Yeah, it's rubber. You would totally expect that. And I don't think that he did any sort of downgrading on that, as he wrote #1 on the back with his box cutter.
I like the home button. You cannot destroy the home button. You cannot scratch it.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me. That really did.
Now, with the motion, that's where the fingerprint sensor is, right?
It is.
Or am I wrong on that?
No, it is. It definitely is.
In the end, we said it after the first key one video. The tests that he's doing to the old devices are not the daily use of 99% of smartphone users.
Yeah.
I'll try to fire my screen or to scratch my back or something like that. So I think it's pretty stable device.
Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely not a daily use test. You know, these are extreme durability tests. But it is nice to see that he's consistent among his tests, and he's getting the same sort of test for all the phones. So you can see that, you know, when this phone easily breaks in half, or this screen easily pops off and this one doesn't, it kind of gives you something that you can look at. So his second video, I'm jumping ahead to a second video now. Go ahead.
I just want to suggest one more extreme test, because it's something that I saw more than the other test. You need to throw the device into the wall, because when people get angry, they're destroying the device. You must test which device is stronger after hitting the wall of bricks.
Have we upset our wife there, Ray? Ray?
I had a tough week, you know. Tough.
Had a couple phones thrown at you.
Yeah.
So in the second video is he did the teardown of the motion. And, you know, teardown videos are kind of nice because you get to see what's on the inside. And I'm not somebody that would actually tear down my phone. I just wouldn't do that unless it was absolutely destroyed and I knew there was no hope for it and I wanted to just see what was on the inside. So it's kind of nice to see what's inside the phones and not have to worry about it being your own phone. Now, the problem we had with this video is that he said he wouldn't trust it for the water protection, the IP67 rating, because when he opened it up, here we go again, there was very little adhesive there. Obviously enough to keep the phone together, but when he's comparing it to other IP67 phones, it didn't look to be, to him, to have enough adhesive. And then also the charging port he thought was a little skimpy on the rubber gasket. So the end result of his teardown of the motion, and I think it was in the title of his video, was don't trust it around water. Now, I'm not too happy hearing that, obviously, and I do think it would be kind of silly for BlackBerry Mobile to run into an issue of not enough adhesive again on a phone, to have the same issue happen twice.
You're going to trigger me, Brad.
Huh?
You're gonna trigger me. That's still too fresh in my memory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
Okay.
I think all of us now within UTB that had a first generation P1 had our screens pop out. Did you, Roy?
Mine's still attached.
Okay,
No,
good.
mine's
So
still attached. I'm preparing myself to the moment that the screen will
Mine
pop.
lasted a year, and I'm pretty hard with my phone. So
yeah, and they
I
did
think
quickly replace it, get you another one too.
about the IP67. First, I don't know what is the how BlackBerry Mobile received the certificate, or they announced it by themselves that they have an IP67 certificate. But the first time I met the BlackBerry Motion, someone told me that okay, it's good. It's okay if a rain will touch the screen. It will be wet, but don't swim with it. Don't dive. But I think if a coffee will fall on the device, I think it will be fine. At least a cold coffee or a glass of water. I think for that the device will be fine.
Yeah, the rating when you look at it, it's an IP67. The 6 is for dust protection, right? The first number is for dust protection. The second number is for liquid protection. And I believe, and I'm going off memory here, that with the 7 rating, you can submerge it. It can go, I believe it's like, I think it's like 3 feet for 30 minutes is considered safe. Going beyond that is where you shouldn't do it. Now with my motion, and I kind of mentioned it in the post I did today on the teardown video, it's been wet. And it's been wet because it's the first BlackBerry phone that I could do that. And it's kind of like, you get some dirt on the screen, you go run it under the faucet and wipe it off. I've never been able to do that with a phone before. And it's like, hey, I can do this, so I'll do it. I know at my job, I actually did that just to watch people freak out. It's like, oh, I got something on my phone here. Let me stick it under the faucet. And, and I have taken the phone into my shower, and not for any reasons that you might think. It's because I listen to music while I shower. I've got one of my Alexa devices in there, and this was before I realized that I could speak to Alexa and have her skip and go forward and back with the music I was streaming from the Amazon Music, which is what I stream my music from. So it sat there in the little soap tray, and I could hit the button forward and back, and it got a lot of, spray from the shower head. It wasn't underneath the shower head, but, I've had no problems with moisture in my phone. Now that I've seen the teardown and seen what his recommendation was, I'm not so sure I would do that now. But I have done that, and I've got no problems.
Even if my phone will be water protect for diving, I will never try to do that. Even if you guarantee me 100% nothing will happen to my phone. I just can't see my phone wet. Can't.
Yeah. Chevy
in
the
phone into the shower.
Well, Chevy in the comments says, first of all, it's IP67, not 68, which I think I had said it was 67. I'm wondering if he's speaking about the difference between the Samsung and the Motion. I don't know if the Samsung is rated IP68 as opposed to IP67, which if it is, then that would explain why there's a difference in the waterproofing.
Yeah.
So that's something that, maybe you should look into.
But I'm sure that BlackBerry Mobile saw this video, and they will prove that the device can, the IP67 is what the device can do underwater or
yeah. You know what? Let's look that up. Let's look up what the S8 is rated at.
Until now, we didn't heard about motion.
He's right. The Samsung S8 is rated at IP68, not IP67. So there you have, could be exactly why there's much more adhesive in a Samsung than there is in the Motion. It's got a different rating.
And until now, we never heard about a BlackBerry Motion that someone tried to check if it's really really underwater or something. We never heard about someone that said not working after.
If you recall their launch party that they had, and I don't know where it was it Spain?
Yeah.
It was in that glass box, and there was a fountain of water going off in the glass box. So I mean, it was being splashed the whole launch party anyway with water. I think that's fine, personally.
Yeah.
Chevy says IP67 is immersion up to 1 meter, and I believe that's for 30 minutes is what the test standard is on that.
I don't care what my phone is rated. I'm not putting it underwater.
Oh, you can just go wash it off. It's funny the reactions you see from people.
No.
I can tell you it works.
No.
You can wash it. You can wash it with a soap.
You're evil.
With a shampoo.
Yeah, just in the shower, you're all.
You talk about washing your phone off in the sink, and all I see are those memes about people charging their phones in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's tricking me. I don't buy it.
We need a certificate that show that the devices can be in the microwave for 2 minutes.
Stop it, Roy. I don't believe you. All right, let's switch gears and talk more about BBM, because there's some news about BBM this week, isn't there?
There is. There is a beta update for BBM, which brings a lot of good things. Again, this is just I'm so happy with BBM updates, and I know that there's people out there like the Telegram people that they're just to be blunt, they're just gonna bitch just to bitch, right? The people that have moved from BBM to Telegram and that all that they'll. I hear this a lot, and what I hear is, oh, Telegram is what BBM should have been, right? That's what you keep hearing, but it's like, why? You know what is it that sets it apart? And the answers that I get anyway are kind of silly, which is you can, make your own stickers. And I mean, things that I worry about, like being reliable, well, BBM doesn't go down. Telegram went down a lot over this last year. So we're getting options. I actually had a conference call with a VP of product design yesterday, as a matter of fact, at BBM, and got kind of a, I don't know how you want to say it, a kind of a peek at the roadmap for the next year. And it is awesome what's coming to BBM. And we're getting little bits and pieces of it right now. It was funny because as we were talking, he's talking about, oh, well, we updated this and we updated that. And I'm sitting there going, well, I haven't seen that yet, because he's speaking like, oh, you already have this. And this is one of the things that we've done. And then I swear it was 6 hours later, I got the beta update and there was the things that he was talking about. And it's like, yes, I didn't have to wait that long. But I mean, what we have right now is that last update, we got the public and private profile, right? So people, it's an opt-in. You have to go in and make your profile public. Now, all of your friends, all of your contacts within BBM, they can see your profile, and your profile shows, you know, your contact information, and it shows your feed, what you have added to your feed. That's all it shows. So if you've added photos to your feed, if you've added, you know, status updates, that's what goes into your feed. Nothing that you've said in groups, nothing that you've said in channels, just that. And if you make that public, and say you go comment on somebody's BBM channel, someone else clicks your icon on that BBM channel, if you have a public feed, they can see everything that you've posted to that feed. So like I've made mine public, and to me, I think it's great, you know, because it brings BBM closer to being a social network, because you can kind of look at your feed the same way you would look at your timeline on Twitter or Facebook. You know, I mean, you're adding what goes there. It's not like it's spying on you in any such way, because I know that there's a lot of people very hesitant to make their feed public, but it's like you're putting it there. You know, there's nothing that's going to go there that you don't decide to put there. And I know there's a lot of people that aren't really using their feed that way right now. And I really think we need to get to that point, because once we start using the BBM feed as we would use Twitter, and of course I revert to Twitter because I do actually use Twitter. I don't really use Facebook at all. But I think it's a more inviting place. There's going to be more updates coming down the line. Well, actually, on this beta update, that is one of the updates that happened, is now you have your feed and you also have a gallery. So if someone clicks on you, they can just look at the photos that you've uploaded to your feed. I love it. And that is the same exact thing that you would see on Twitter. You've got someone's, I think it says tweets and replies you click on, and you can go through what they've tweeted and replied. And then you can click on media, and it shows all the media that they've attached. So now you can do that with BBM and feeds. I love it. I think it's great.
I just added to my feed while you were talking.
Good.
Not that I wasn't listening to you or anything.
What did you add? This Brad guy won't shut up about feeds?
No, I added a picture that I put on Snapchat about being live on UTB Blog.
Oh, good. Snapchat.
So it's work related, boss.
Now, go ahead, Roy.
Because I was not updated all the week, I saw that the BBM channels dashboard moved to another, let's say, URL.
Yep.
And it seems as the first step for MWC or MCW, or what's her name?
CMW.
Same. It's the first step for them to upgrade the dashboard manager. And
what they're doing right now is, yeah, it went from a BlackBerry domain to a domain owned by CMW, and they're moving everything to the cloud. And I did get confirmation everything is going to be moved to the cloud. And by them moving everything to the cloud, it's going to give them, because the way that they're developing right now is you can expect to see an update every 30 days. And every 30 days, you're going to see new things added to BBM. They have like a list of items that they want to add to BBM, and they call it it's called the agile method. So it's every 30 days, there's an update. Every 30 days, there's going to be new features added. And the new features that we're seeing added now, they're great and I love them, but they're kind of minimalist right now because they're needing to get everything to the cloud. Once everything is in that cloud, it offers them the scalability, it offers them the ability to just really start feeding these things in. So I think it's the 26th, or the 24th, when all of our user accounts get moved from BlackBerry to CMW. Was that the date, the cutoff date?
26, I think.
26. So I mean that's one step. and then, you know, they've got to move everything over, and they're doing it piece by piece. And once it's all done, we're really going to see some great things. Like, I mean, right now we can add, you know, remember back when your feed was nothing but your status updates, and then all of a sudden you were able to add photos to it? Pretty soon we're going to be able to add videos to it. And I know that there's a lot of people that have been wanting to be able to post videos, and that's coming. So, I mean, there's just a lot in the works, and I'm really excited about it. And what we saw on this beta is Roy's taking a selfie right now. What we're seeing in this beta is just kind of a taste of what's to come. Kevin asked what's in the beta, and I come on, Kevin, read the site, man. I went over each one of it. What wasn't mentioned in the changelog, but what Wayno actually discovered, is that we can delete sticker packs now. And I know there's a lot of people that wanted that, and I still don't know why. Huh?
And
I'm tired of Trump's face on my sticker packs.
But you can hide them. You can rearrange them, and you can hide them. I never saw the point of deleting them, but I know a lot of people wanted it, and they'll be able to now.
someone sent me a link to Crackberry, and Blaze mentioned UTB as the one that revealed that you can now delete stickers back.
There you go, Blaze copying us. I'm joking. We're friendly now. It's not like the old days.
I like how you had to add that in without even taking a breath. We're friendly now.
Oh, because I know there's still people out there that whatever. There's no problem. Blaze has been on the blogcast once. I'm sure one of these days someone here will get invited over there, right? Someone eventually.
Blink your eyes twice if you need help.
What's that?
I said blink your eyes twice if you need help.
Now I'm all cautious to blink. I'm gonna sit here, my contacts are gonna dry up.
So what new on the beta? Because I didn't really know. Didn't read it. What's new on the beta besides what you spoke till now?
Beyond that, there's the gallery in our feed. Oh, sharing is so much better now. And it took me a while to figure out what they were talking about, because they said now there's a multi-picker for when you go to share something. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I'm sharing exactly how I used to. I couldn't quite figure it out if you're doing it from like BBM. But I know that like myself, and I'm sure a lot of you'll get like a funny meme or something, right? And you want to share that with a bunch of people. Your option was to send it to everybody individually, or send it to everybody at once and it form a group chat, right? That's kind of the way it worked. Now when you go to do that, say like I use the app that I use for my photos is called Pictures with a K. So if there's something within that app I want to share, I hit share, I go to share to BBM contacts, and all of the contacts are there just the way they always were, but there's a little box on the side, and you can check mark who you want to share to, and then it's just one share. It is so convenient. Like I love that. Very convenient.
Nice.
Trying to think of what else there is. Why don't I just go to BBM and Google Play Store?
I love how we research while we podcast.
Seriously. Well, you know what? Dave speaks, and it gives us time to go look at stuff. You guys are just not speaking.
Yeah. We like Dave's watching fault. You researching.
Like it's Dave's fault even when he's not here.
More dark colors added to the background. Oh, that's something that we do want to talk about because that was brought up in group earlier. And now when we share videos to groups, because remember we were given the opportunity to share videos to groups several updates ago. Now those videos show up in our group gallery too. So the gallery is not just the pictures, but also the videos. Nice. So you don't have to break your thumb scrolling back to see if anybody posted a video. Now, one of the people, so, Robert.
In the future, BBM will be Twitter-like. That's the direction.
Part of it will be, and I think that's something that I can speak to because I'm kind of hesitant to speak to everything, but I know that I asked and we're allowed to speak of this. But so let me get back to that. And the someone in our group, birthday boy Robert, it's Robert's birthday. If you know Robert, be sure to wish him a happy birthday. Right now, he probably won't get that because I'm guessing he's seen 5 of everything, but probably tomorrow he'll enjoy seeing it. But he kind of insulted the new darker background colors, saying that they still can't get dark theme right. And I've heard that. I've heard that a few times from Robert and from others. Well, we want our dark theme, but honestly, like the dark theme, that's a BlackBerry thing. That's a BlackBerry thing that started in BB10 and they've carried over to BlackBerry Android. BBM is, yes, still owned by BlackBerry, but it's not being developed by BlackBerry anymore. I don't expect to see a dark theme. They are giving us more options for backgrounds. And I mean, what else could you ask for? If you want a black background, it's there. It's been there for several updates now. Now you have more options for different colors, and I'm sure more to come.
I want the opportunity, the chance to cosmetize my background for my own pictures. It would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, well, no comments on that. So, so moving back, yes, feeds are going to be more Twitter-like, more social media-like. And that's honestly, and I said it a few blogcasts ago, that what I assumed was happening with BBM was that they were going to turn it into a social media platform, right? I've said that a few times just because of what I was seeing take place in the feeds, and there's more that's coming to the feeds that are going to make it that way, which I'm excited about. But it doesn't seem like that's really the direction that they're going. They're not trying to turn it into a social media platform. They're becoming a source for media consumption for their primary markets. And, you know, we are not a primary market. You know, the US, Canada, Israel, we're not a primary market because we don't have the majority of the users. When you look at the majority of BBM's users, they're Indonesian, they're Middle Eastern, they're African. So that's the areas where they're finding these partners. And in a lot of these areas, if you want to call them developing areas, I don't really know how you want to call it, but they may not have the media sources, the immediacy that we have. And BBM is giving them that, and they're giving them that immediacy, and they want to make it to where it's incredibly easy for them to share. So sharing is actually the primary point that BBM is going for right now. So we're going to see a lot of updates and sharing, and part of what I thought was going to be turning us into a social media really is, when you break it down and you look at it, it all comes down to sharing, right? That's what social medias are. But it really is so that, you know, these media partners that are providing these services and news and sports and the ability for people to pay their utility bills and the ability for people to call a cab or an Uber. It's all about sharing within this platform that is BBM. So, I mean, it's like, it really is about being able to better yourselves through the platform that you're using. It's pretty incredible, you know, and yes, we here in the Western world may not be getting all of the media sources that they are right now, but yes, it's also coming to us. You know, there are partners, there are new partners coming in that are bringing these services to us. You know, I mean, if you look at our Explore menu now compared to 6 months ago, there's all kinds of new things in the Explore now that there didn't used to be. Yes, Chevy, there is a truly black background in BBM. It's been there for a long time. I'm really excited about the direction that BBM's going. I really am. I know that there are people that I saw, and it just popped up in my feed. Someone that I follow retweeted it, and I thought it was hilarious. And it was, I guess Snapchat had an update. I don't know if it's a universal update or if it's just in the UK. It seems like the majority of the complaints I'm hearing is from the UK. Like all of their newspapers are talking about it. Was it here too?
As far as I know, yeah, because I have family and stuff that were complaining about it in the US.
Yeah, it is ugly. And there is somebody that got on Twitter and you know, not safe for work. They're like, F this, I'm going to BBM. And it turned into a huge chain of people about, yeah, screw Snapchat, let's bring BBM back. And all these people posting their brand new BBM pins and their BBM statuses photos, which were F Snapchat, you know? And I'm like, this is great. I don't know who any of these people are, but it was just this huge chain of people that were leaving Snapchat behind and they were going to BBM, and a bunch of them saying how great it was, and you know how much different it was from when
we need to get.
What's that?
We need to get this person that started the move to BBM through Twitter.
Yeah.
We need to get him here on the Blogcast.
Blogcast, yes.
Looking at the timeline, I'm not so sure it's someone that would be family friendly like the UTB Blogcast is, but all it took was one person saying it, and it turned into a huge chain of people doing it.
And we also need to get all those people reading UTB.
Again, they weren't very family friendly. But hey, you know, it's all about community. So no, not the canceled NBC series. Huh?
What's next?
What is next? Could it be what Byron asked in chat? If we're going to talk about the rumored devices?
The last one that was on the list for tonight is that one. That's all you guys. I'm not following that.
I think it's the first time we didn't start with a rumored device. Every time we have a rumored device or something about devices, we always start with the rumored devices for everything else. I think it's the first time we didn't start with a rumored device.
And it may just be because the rumors are very rumorific.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, I didn't have any details other than somebody mentioned a possible new device. So I was like, I'm not starting with that.
There's code names floating around, which may or may not be true. I think it was Digital Trends is where I saw it. And you know, you can't really have, hey, look, this is what the new BlackBerry device is. Here's the rumor and here's the patent drawings, and not report on it, right? So we saw it, we reported on it. I did the little post. I don't think any of us believe it to be true.
The patents we saw are from the same time that the Priv was released.
It's definitely that front-facing image was definitely a Priv. There's no denying that was a Priv.
So it's not BlackBerry mobile patents. It's BlackBerry patents.
I believe they were BlackBerry mobile patents though, but I think they were just reusing drawings from the Priv, number one. And I mean, like, Digital Trends didn't source where this came from. I don't know where it came from. All I did was pretty much regurgitate what Digital Trends said and put in my own little questions on, is this going to be true? But I believe it's new patents, and I believe it's new patents for the camera. And I really don't think it has anything to do with phone design whatsoever.
And we know that TCL already have a device named Uni.
I heard that today. Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, Uni 660, 360, something like that. It released.
What is it? Is it a phone?
Probably. It released in the same time as the Alcatel 5 or Idol 5 or something like that. Or some of the Idols.
Yeah, I doubt they would be sharing brand names between Alcatel and BlackBerry. But then again, anything that would be there right now would be a code name. It wouldn't be something that you would see.
We know, like, Pre-Mobile promised at least 2 new phones this year. Right. And I think we know one of them will be keyboard device.
Right.
At least I know. I'm still fighting with myself if I really want another Priv design phone.
Well, you know what? If everything that Digital Trends said about, the slide up extra lenses, I would totally want to play with that. I totally would. And I hope that that's something that we're going to see as far as, these interchangeable lenses. I think that's something that would be fun to play with. I'm still of the thought, and there's no reason for me to think this. I'm not saying that I've spoke to anybody because I haven't, but I'm still of the thought that we're going to see a Key 2 because that would just be smart. The Key 1 is very popular, and I think it would be really smart to capitalize on that. And I tend to think that the second phone will be an all touch, just because that seems like then they're covering the market. I do not think we're going to see a slider. I don't think we're going to see a Priv 2 anytime soon.
Yeah. I started to use the Priv again in the last month. I manage all the UTB social media through the Priv, so it's nice. The physical keyboard is good, but if you compare it to the Key 1, I prefer a traditional BlackBerry keyboard device.
Yeah. I still say the Priv keyboard was completely underrated, and I don't think it was complete. I take that back. I think it was hated on by a bunch of people that went from the Passport to the Priv keyboard, and that's just a dramatic difference. And I could see somebody that's used to this really wide keyboard really disliking the Priv keyboard, because I did too when I first made that transition. But I actually used the Priv for a long time, and I got to where I absolutely loved that keyboard. I mean, even now, like right now, honestly, my dad has my Priv. That's what he's using as his phone, because he wanted the screen for the drone that he's flying all the time. But even now, if I pick up that phone, I mean, I can just fly on that keyboard. I love the keyboard. I never used the virtual keyboard on that Priv.
I think the next event, it's in the end of this month, the event in Barcelona.
Yeah.
The Mobile Congress, or forget the name.
Yeah, Mobile World Congress.
I think then BlackBerry Mobile will reveal their next phone, and it will be available again around April, May, like Key 1. This is my opinion.
I'll say don't get your hopes up on that.
No, on Mobile World Congress, I think BlackBerry Mobile will reveal it. It will not start to sell anything.
Possibly.
But it will be nice to see Key 2.
Yeah, I really want that Key 2. I don't even know what it looks like, but man, if it's any sort of upgrade to the Key 1, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, when you use the Key 1 and you think, okay, I want the Key 2, what I will upgrade? Because memory and RAM we already upgraded on the Black Edition. So what can be upgraded on the Key 1 to make it the Key 2?
All I'm thinking of is specs. You know, I mean, I think that I still run into there's a guy, a friend of ours, someone that was in our group, it's not in our group anymore, that he keeps just, and I hope he's watching this because I keep telling him this every time he says it. He keeps saying he's disappointed. You know, he's disappointed that needs to be higher specs, that, you know, he's waiting for a high spec BlackBerry. And it's like, well, have you used it? No, he's still on a priv, right? And there is just a dramatic world of difference from the priv to the Key 1, and a dramatic world of difference from the priv to the Motion. So you may not have these top level specs that you have on a Samsung, but my God, I mean, like, what more do you want out of these phones? They're fast, they're smooth. With the BlackBerry software, like, I have zero problems at all.
When BlackBerry Mobile decided to use these sets of chips, of Qualcomm chips, they don't need the highest specs in the market, because the Qualcomm chipset is it's about battery, right, and about efficiency.
That's exactly the first thing that I tell him every time he says that is, what? Do you hate battery?
Unless you are going to work on Photoshop or any very graphical game, you don't need Samsung device.
If you're playing, you know, 3D intense graphical fast games, then okay, go get the specs. You know, go get yourself a Razer phone. If you're using your phone as we all use our BlackBerry phones, there's nothing else needed. What the heck? Kevin says that his is freezing. I'm not having any freezes in either of my phones. Not once. Like,
there is a promotional ads on Israel about Samsung A something, and they said that the Samsung device is more than you need. And I always say, what why I need something with more than I need? I want something that it's exactly what I need. And that's why I don't need a Samsung.
Why is Kevin talking in chat and not here on the blogcast? That's what I want to know.
Our Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, our Kevin. He's been in the chat.
He always says he doesn't have time to come on. And there he is, chatting away.
Kevin, you're getting called out.
Oh, okay. There's his answer. He's watching hockey with his son. Well, Kevin, you can have another son.
Yeah.
Evil.
Okay. But yeah, I get what you mean, Roy. It's like, that goes back to the spec war. It's something that we used to talk about on BlackBerry 10. That, you know, it's the BlackBerry 10 was never involved in the spec war because it didn't need to be involved in the spec war. The operating system was optimized and it worked great. I get that same sort of feeling on both my Key One and my Motion. Kevin's saying that he's having issues, and I really wonder why. I wonder what he's got going on there that would be causing him issues.
When you sell millions of units, you can't be 100% without any fails, bugs, and issues. So it all depends on the percentage of users that are actually have problem with the device. And I think for the Key One is a very low percentage of the issues and the bugs and our batteries are not exploding. We can charge it, or things that other smartphones can do.
I mean, granted, the screens fell out, but you know that happens.
Yeah, but that can't happen to other manufacturers because nobody manufacture a keyboard device. So
yeah,
you have nothing to compare. I'm sure that if Samsung will build a keyboard device like the Key One, the screen will pop up. But from what I heard, and it's not for quoting, we will see a high specs BlackBerry Mobile in the future.
Yeah.
As I see it, BlackBerry Mobile just checked the market. They wanted to fill it with the keyboard devices, with the touch devices. They want to know what the public want, what the consumers want, what they need to do to sell more. And with two devices, I think that they now know what will sell more and what they need to do to be better.
And you know what? I think we saw that with the Motion, and I think that's what that JerryRig everything, what Zach over there commented about during his test. There's one point he said it's almost like somebody at BlackBerry's been listening to customers, and I think that's exactly the case. You know, I mean, you look at the Motion, and how many check marks did that tick off of what BlackBerry users have been asking for? You know, there's just so many. We've got the IP rating, we've got the full touch that people have been asking for, we got the fingerprint sensor that people were asking for. There's just so much that people were asking for that have been answered in that device. And as you said, what people are asking for now are specs. And I completely agree with you. I think that's going to be the big defining aspect of these next phones. If all that we got on the next phones was a Key 2 and a Motion 2 and it was just higher specs, that wouldn't surprise me at all. And smaller bezels on the Motion, because that seemed to be one of the things that people complained about. You know, with the pre-release photos of the Motion, the first thing everybody talked about was those bezels, because now all of a sudden everybody wants barely their bezels. So I have a feeling the next full touch phone will have the barely their bezels, and I'm really hoping it doesn't have a notch. I'm just going to say that. I would rather have a bezel than a notch. That would really screw over my OCD, having that notch up there. I grab myself a Sharpie and fill it in for them.
Yeah, we have anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, I was done 10 minutes ago. You guys are just rambling.
I think you were done 10 minutes in.
Hey, I've been active tonight.
This is you active?
Yes, this is me active. Adjust your expectations.
I'm telling you, I just from seeing the screen that we see, I feel like her actual photo has a picture of a microphone checked off on it. Like that's her actual photo.
Yeah, I just got to talk to you now.
Yeah, it disappeared for a minute. It really doesn't belong there. Okay, well, I will say, if you've made it this far into the blogcast, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because apparently we need that. I posted a video this week. If you didn't see that, please go back and look at that. It is my new vlogging rig that I'm really proud of. And I kind of want to hear what people think about it. And Roy...
Continue.
Okay. Roy has started up a new podcast. We just put episode number 2 up. Was that today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Today. Simple Security, where he goes through the various security topics and makes it simple for you. A really quick little audio podcast, and they are now up. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. You can find them on wherever you get your podcast. Just search up Simple Security and find it. It's there. And subscribe to that. And you know, since
Eyes on the BBM feed.
Keep your eyes on the BBM feed. Thank you. Why?
Because we should all be using it more.
I expected to get a little more out of it.
I think we should upload to Twitter pictures of us using BBM.
That's a good idea.
Could be nice. Yeah.
Put up our, you know what? Ooh, that would be kind of, there's a challenge for you. There's a dare. Because I know that most of us are used to BBM being private, our friends, family, blah, blah, blah. Would either of you be willing to post your pin on social media? Here, contact me here. That would be a hard one. Yeah.
Maybe temporarily, and then take it down later. But I wouldn't want to leave it up there indefinitely.
Yeah, that's rough because, I mean, we do treat that. Wow.
But
I mean, I'm
the same way with all my social media. I don't give it out unless I want somebody to have it. I don't usually keep my stuff public. It's private. It's locked down. I'm a BlackBerry user after all.
Like your Twitter, is that kept private?
No, my Twitter isn't kept private, but for the longest time, I had it private to where people had to request to follow me.
Really?
But then I opened it up later on.
Yeah,
I also barely use Twitter.
Yeah, she's just updating every time she sees Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah, I rewatch Buffy every year, so that's on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we definitely know. Yeah, I'm trying to think how we could because I don't know if I would be willing to do that. I want people to use the feeds. I really do. I immediately made my feed public, but having your feed out there and allowing people to see your posts.
You know what I would do? I would let my feed go up on the BBM channel, like the UTB channel. I don't know that I would do it on Twitter because Twitter's a little bit too public.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you're still going to run into and you know what? They've given us the option because number one, we can block anybody we want. We have our availability that, you know, you can say you're available or you're not available. But the thing is with BBM, and maybe it's just because I'm a lifelong BlackBerry user, I'm all about responding, right? You know, it's when you see that you've got a notification that goes unread, it kind of makes me spaz out, you know, and
I switch.
If somebody mentions me or says something to me on Twitter and I don't get back to it for 2 or 3 days, I don't care. But if I've got like an open BBM message, I kind of freak out a bit. And having it to where anybody could contact you via BBM, that's kind of harsh. Now, channels would be totally different. I'd have no problem with, you know, putting my personal BBM channel pin out there for anybody to follow. But then you're updating your feed and your channel. When
is the last time you updated your personal channel?
Oh, forever ago.
I just posted to Musically, or Musicality, this week. I was pretty proud of myself. Which my BBM channel, for those who don't know my origin story, my BBM channel is how I got into UTB. So I will keep it forever.
Didn't Grim track you down?
He did, because he's a music geek like me.
So was Grim. Yeah, that's something to think about. I am thinking about, okay, I will say this because Roy started up a podcast again. I'm thinking about restarting my old one-man podcast, but I have no idea what I would do. So I may put something up. I was looking at it today. It's been well over a year. I think it was November of 2016 when I put my last podcast up. And it's like, you know, my problem is when there's something to talk about, it's either save it for the blogcast or write a post about it. Or maybe it's something to do a video on. So I'm left without really anything to do the podcast about, but yet I loved recording the podcast and editing the podcast.
So you just need to be guests on other people who do podcasts or podcasts.
That's hard enough to get people on the blogcast now. Like they're going to want to come and speak to just me. Neither of you would have been here tonight if it was just me and you.
No, I don't like being alone with you.
Oh, that hurts.
Don't act like you have feelings.
That's a good out. So subscribe to the UTB Network's channel. Subscribe to Simply Security on your favorite podcast app. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week.
Awesome.
Hopefully with more good news about BlackBerry.
Definitely.
So good night.